Welcome to 5 Good Minutes, considering the season of Advent with Brady Randall.
It's hard to believe that it's the Christmas season already. It always sneaks up on me every December. But ready or not, here it is. And over these weeks in December, we are trying to prepare our hearts for the reason for the season. And today we'll be looking at Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 to 21. But before we start, I just want you to take a self-assessment of where you find yourself today during this Christmas season. Where is your stress level at on a scale of 1 to 10? My guess, it probably depends on your life circumstances, maybe your stage of life, level of preparedness for all things Christmas. I feel like as I've gotten older, the stress level goes up every December. There are so many more things to plan for, from gift giving to food preparation, Christmas traffic, planning for services, planning for what house to be where and when, and the list goes on. But can you imagine that very first Christmas? How stressful that must have been for Mary and Joseph. Here's what we read in verses 18 to 19. This is how the birth of Jesus the Messiah came about. His mother Mary was pledged to be married to Joseph, but before they came together, she was found to be pregnant through the Holy Spirit. Because Joseph, her husband, was faithful to the law and yet did not want to expose her to public disgrace, he had in mind to divorce her quietly. So Mary was pledged to be married, meaning she wasn't yet married, and she finds herself pregnant through the Holy Spirit. Now, do you think her friends and family really believe that? Imagine the shame that she must have felt in that culture at that time. Joseph, seeing all of this, wanted to honor the law, wanted to honor his God. He also wanted to honor Mary and wanted to cut things off quietly. The woman that you love is pregnant and you know for sure it is not your child. What do you do with that? But then an angel appears to Joseph in a dream in verses 20 to 21. But after he had considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus, because he will save his people from their sins. In the midst of everything running through Joseph's head, God has a message for Joseph that will change his life and it will change the entire world. Don't be afraid, Joseph. That baby boy belongs to me. What is conceived is from the Holy Spirit. Mary will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus. And the name Jesus means God saves, for he will save people from their sins. Can you imagine receiving that life-shaking message? My hope and prayer today is that that same message would be received by us, that it would literally shake us up and change our lives. Of all the things that are stressing you and I out right now, whether it be related to the holidays, work, family, or anything else, the most important matter in your life and mine is the condition of our hearts. Hearts that are sinful and bent away from the things of God. Sin is so destructive that if left alone and untreated, it literally will kill us. That's a death sentence for us. And yet the amazing news for you and I today, that in this season, that it was for this very reason that God sent Jesus. And the Hebrew word Jesus is Joshua, and that name has a life-changing meaning, that Jesus and Jesus alone will save people from their sins. That's the incredible news of the gospel, that Jesus came to save sinners, including you and me. What a wonderful message this Christmas. And so therefore, you and I can cast whatever is stressing us out onto God. And more importantly, not only can you cast your lives, not only can you cast our stress and anxiety, but he invites us to give him your sin, that in him, he takes our sin and he gives us his righteousness in its place. This is the great news of the gospel for those who receive Jesus Christ. And we can receive that by repenting and turning to him, for that is why he came.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.